Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. It is January 2025. Can you believe it? Oh my God, time flies when you're having fun. So, welcome to this month's Life and Spiritual Coaching series, where I'm going to talk about how to change your perception. Okay? And perception, of course, is a huge thing. We see it all the time. And, you got to start where does my perception come from? And when you think about it, as a child, right? You're talked to by your parents, your grandparents, aunts, uncles, so on and so forth. If you belong to the church, you listen to the pastor or the minister, whoever it is. Then it's teachers, and then it's just other adults speaking, and you hear these things, and it's like, oh, maybe I should think this way, or maybe I should think that way, or gee, I see it this way, but am I wrong? Because they said something different than what I see. So perception really takes hold at a very young age, obviously. And think about it, not that we can remember infancy, but think about if you've had a child, and it's like you hold that child and they look right up at you, and right away they perceive you as the person they trust, the person who brought them into this world, their mom, their dad, that kind of thing. And so perception starts right away, and again, as the years go on, we build up certain perceptions about people, about life, about all kinds of situations. Of course, there's got a million things we could talk about, politics, religion, the way the wind blows, it can go on and on and on. So this discussion this month is not about what everybody else thinks and what their perceptions are, but what's your perception on things, right? Because that's most important. And we forget that. We think some people, well, as I was told once, some people are leaders, some people are followers. And I can tell you, I was a follower. So if somebody believed that the sky was pink, I was like, okay, it's pink. You know what I mean? It looks like it's blue, but they said it was pink, so it must be pink. And that's because at one point I was a follower. And now I'm more of a leader. And I kind of lead myself to believe what I believe is correct for myself, which is what we all should do. You shouldn't have to follow the pack because you're unsure, or your confidence is not there, your self-esteem, your personal power, those kinds of things. And I get it. I was there. So think about this, okay? As a child, your parents tell you, now, of course, this has been going on since the dawn of time. Right? People of color are no good. People of other ethnicities are no good. People that are gay or straight or non-binary or, oh my God, there's so much. And like, no, that's not right. Because their perception of life and the world is, of course, we'll go with the relationship status, man, woman, make babies. Done, right? That's the end of that story. There's no trans, there's no anything, okay? You are who you are and you can't change that. This is your life. Whether anybody believes in you, whether anybody thinks what you do is the right thing, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you think. And that is what I'm so happy about today and going into 2025. All of that is so open and out there, and I'm like, wow, it's great. Of course, now, mind you, I'll admit, when I was in school, it was frowned upon. And again, perceptions change all the time. So when I was a kid, gay wasn't discussed. When I got into school, middle school, high school, you may have said, oh, I think so-and-so's gay. But right away, that's wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. Why? Because my mom said so. Because my dad said so. But then my mom started changing her mind because then she started discussing family members of hers that were gay. And I'm going, okay. Something about her perception has changed. What is it? Maybe she was telling the future. Who knows? Because myself, I have 3 kids. I have 1 gay, I have 1 straight, and I have 1 non-binary. I don't care what they call themselves. I love them dearly. They're my children. And if they're happy, I'm happy, and I am willing to oblige because why not? Why not? Does it have any bearing on me? Not at all. It's their life. They're adults. They can do what they want. So maybe my mom back then knew that's what was coming for me, because my mom was very intuitive. And all of a sudden she started realizing that, gay's not that bad. To each his own. If that's what they want, let them be happy. And it was like, okay. But my perceptions of those things had always been in question. Always. I remember as a kid questioning family members about certain things and going, yeah, but that doesn't feel right to me. And they would get mad at me and say, well, that's how it is and that's how you should do it. I'm like, oh, hey, okay. Which I have come to learn through my own process of perception and through my own spiritual journeys. I've never had an issue with gays or religions or politics. I am a fence sitter. Whatever works, works. That's what I look at. You know what I mean? That's what I call myself, a fence sitter, which means I don't take your side and I don't take your side. I sit on the fence and I take my side. If I agree with you, I do. If I don't, I still love you. If I agree with you, great. If I don't, I still love you. It doesn't matter. That is the whole beauty of being a human being and having a mind. You can decide and choose whatever it is you want to believe in. I mean, think about it. Look at the population as a whole, okay? And I'm talking just here in the United States. I'm not even talking the world. We can pick and choose our religion. We can pick and choose our politics. We can pick and choose what we believe in. We can pick and choose our aliens, right? All of that. And if somebody does believe in aliens, well, good for you. If that's what you believe in, that's what you believe in. It doesn't matter, because why? It has no bearing on me. And if it makes them happy, then so be it. Right? All right, so perception, it's everywhere, okay? So let's start, okay, we've grown up and now a lot of what we thought we believed has now changed. So it's like, okay. So that's a good thing. You're allowed to change your thinking process, right? So think of it this way. Maybe when we were younger, because you guys know me, I'm not shy. I'm 57. And so let's say, when I was younger, Dad would be driving and, people cut him off or pass him or whatever. And he'd be like, right? He would complain about how that person was a bad person. Now, granted, this is where perception comes in. Today, I can tell you, I do like, really? Why do we move so slow in the left lane? I get like that. I'm a human being too. But I do look at it sometimes as, wow, what is going on with that person? It's not that they're normally a bad driver, because maybe they're not, but they're having such a bad day. Maybe there's an emergency in their life. Things are happening and they got to get there quickly, and they're just doing whatever they have to do to get there. Should I be complaining that that person's a bad person? They're not a bad person. They're just driving badly, right? Perception. And of course, law of attraction, right? Kind of works its way in with that. The more you bitch and complain about the traffic, the more traffic you're going to get. So keep that in mind. Perception. Instead of bitching about it right away, go, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe something's going on with that person. I don't care if they flip you off. I don't care if they cut you off. I don't care if they go speeding by you at 100 miles an hour. Judging that person, it's a human thing, but is it the right thing? Your perception of that person is just a thought process. You don't know what's going on with them. You really don't. So that's one way to change your perception, right? You could look at it as what a shitty driver, or you could look at it as like, wow, that person's having a bad day. Hope things get better for them, right? Kindness. Kill them with kindness. Because again, if we all spent more time changing our perception a little bit, I get it. We're all human. We all get aggravated. We all get mad. But take a deep breath and really think about that. Maybe if I change my perception and put some kindness out there, that could change things, right? So, think about this. Now, my ex-husband, same thing. He still drives his kids crazy. He still doesn't see his way of associating with them as a bad thing. Again, it's his perception. He thinks he's right. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He thinks he's not doing anything wrong. Now, of course, coming from a standpoint of being married to a narcissist, I can tell you that, yeah, it's pretty much his fault. It's sad. It really is. Now, my perception, yes, it's sad. But where did this narcissism come from? That's what I learned to say to myself once I got past the hurt of going through my divorce. Okay, where did all this narcissism come from? Was it from mom? Was it from dad? Was it from both? What was it from? Because I don't think people are born narcissistic, okay? Unless they have a mental break in their brain somewhere. And I'm not a doctor by any means, or a counselor or a psychologist or any of those things. But it's like, to me, I don't think they're born that way. I really don't, And I really think that somewhere along the line, they feel the need to control situations because they were never allowed to control anything before. And I don't mean control in a bad way. I just mean control like they had no say. No matter what they wanted to do, parents would no. You're going to do what I tell you. You're going to do what I say. You're going to do what I tell you. You're going to do what I say. You're going to follow me. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And there was no, who knows? I don't know. I wasn't there. See? I wasn't there, so I can't judge. But I understand there's a good possibility that something is in the background that created this mess. So now, yes, he drives his kids crazy. His kids will go off and not talk to him for a while. They do all have good boundaries with him because you kind of have to. So again, perception. We see it as things are being done incorrectly and not with heart, not with feeling, not with kindness, not with love. But to him, everything he does is out of love. Two sides of that perception. Then you could have the third thing. You could have the complete outsider who goes, I don't see anything wrong with this. I don't think that's bad. I don't think it. So who knows? Who knows? But again, this is about you, right? Your perceptions and what you see. Somebody said to me one time, and I remember who it is now, and it was like the right, the wrong, and the truth. Something to that effect. And I went, oh, who's right? He's right, she's right, or the truth is right. There's always three sides to a story, as he said, which can make sense. So again, back to perception. So how you look at things makes a big impact on how things go for you. All right. So again, if we're going to focus on the bad, like traffic. Oh my God, the traffic. People are driving stupid. You get more of that. You see the people like, oh my God, time just flies by. I never have enough time. I'm always exhausted. Oh my God, did I even get any sleep? Oh my God, I'm always working. Oh my God, I have to go to work again. Oh my God. Like, it's part of life. Now you could look at it as like it's all bad because you're getting nothing. But then again, that's what you're putting out there. So you get nothing. You get no extra time. You get no extra sleep. You get no extra anything because you're always looking at it in the negative sense. So another person's perception can be, I'm grateful I have a job. Yeah, it kind of stinks getting up early, but that's okay. At least I'm working. At least I'm making money and I can pay my bills. Oh, yay, the weekend is here. That's fantastic. Well, weekend's over. I guess it's time to go back to work. It is what it is. Changing your perceptions to the positive side of things is the only changes you should make. Don't change your perception of what your beliefs are for other people. There's a difference. So how you look at it is how you're going to get it. So where does, what else do we have perceptions on? Okay. How about self? Self-perception. When you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Now I can tell you, just from the fact of doing these videos, take me back 3 years? Yeah, no. Wouldn't have done them because I would have worried more so, do I look okay? My circles there. Do I look awful? Is my hair okay? Like, I don't know. People are going to think I'm stupid. Am I even going to make it sound like it's making sense? Like, I don't know if I can do this. Right? That was my perception probably 3 years ago. Then finally one day I just said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I started by doing short little videos on social media. And I was like, you know what? I don't care what I look like, because you know what? These people aren't here to see me. They're here to hear a message. And that's what this is all about. So see how I changed my perception about myself? I knew I could do it. I knew that the messages I put out every day is not about me, what I'm wearing, or what I look like. It's what can I say today that can help somebody, even if it's one person. That's what it's all about. So the self-perceptions we have of ourselves. I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too ugly, my hair's not the right color, my hair's not the right straight, curly, whatever, I don't have the right clothes, I don't have this, I don't have that, I look stupid when I wear this, that makes me look ugly, that makes me look drawn out, that makes me, oh my God, we think of every excuse in the book to make ourselves seem like we're not who we are. One thing I have to say, and this is something that I learned as I got older and worked on myself a lot, is this is not me. This in here, that's me. So when you're beauty and you have beautiful in here, you're beautiful out here. That's really what it's about. So stop putting yourself down. Stop seeing yourself as something you're not. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Now, I know this sounds like let's all use some affirmations and change our thought processes, but that's what changing your perception is about, changing those thought processes. Stop seeing yourself as something negative, because you are far from negative. Far from negative. Okay? Negativity is something that you use. Okay? You use negative words, negative thoughts. Those are, to me, I'm going to call them things. Now, your perception is, I can drop those things and use positive things, right? Positive statements, positive comments, positive thought processes, whatever, so change your perception about yourself and remind yourself, I am not that person that he said I was, or she said I was, or my mom said I was, or my dad, or my teacher, or any of those people. That's not who you are. You know who you are. You have turned into the person, the adult that you want to be. And if you're not where you want to be, then change it. Change it. It is very important, because I look at it this way. Why spend your whole life looking at yourself like you're less than? And I mean, I'm 57. I could live another, 40 years if I really want to. I got longevity on my side. My grandmother was 98 years old. Her sisters are all died at 100, 101, and 102. So guess what? I got longevity on my side. I could be here 40 more years. And I would love to do that, as long as I can keep helping all of you. Am I going to spend 40 years? 40 more years? Negative, 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 negative. Oh my God, life is too short. I don't care if you live 100 years or 1 year. Life is too short. Stop being negative. Stop seeing yourself other than what perfection you are. Did they not say we are all a spark of the divine? Do you really think the divine would create something bad? No. I hate to compare us to dogs, but guess what? There is a million types of dogs out there. There's so many different breeds and colors and mixes and this and that. And we all look at them as dogs, right? Yes, there's purebreds. Yes, there's mutts. Yes, there's mixed. There's all. But you know what? We love them all. There's no bad dogs. But yet we'll look at ourselves or other humans and go, well, that one's the wrong color, that one's the wrong ethnic, that one's the wrong sexual, that one's the wrong this, that one's the wrong that one's too big, that one's too small, that one. Why? Why? What everybody else thinks of you is none of your business. All that matters is what you think of you. So take a moment right now and close your eyes. Right? Close your eyes. Nice deep breath. And exhale. Deep breath in and let it go. Now, think of something negative that you always think about yourself. Now say to yourself, it's not good. It's not bad. It just is. It's not good. It's not bad. It just is. And that's really what it's all about. Everything is not good. Everything is not bad. Everything just is. So see it for what it is. Right? Don't label things as good or bad. It just is. So, perception. Change your perception about who you are. Love yourself. Accept yourself. I don't care what you look like. I don't care how big you are, how small you are, how tall, how short, how old, how young, what color hair you have. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. And I mean, perception, like I said, I've learned how to look at myself differently. My hair has been like this since I was in my 40s. It just runs in the family. Does gray hair make you old? No, it does not. It does not. So when everybody got the COVID hair and let their dye jobs go, guess what? I was already there. Perception. It's all in how you feel. You feel good? Then you're good. Change your perception on yourself, what you feel about yourself. Now, let's move into family, okay? Husband, wife, significant other, whatever you may have, even family members, okay? Kids, right? Kids have attitude. Yeah, well, so do adults. But somehow, for some reason, we all think we should stifle those kids and tell them to stop making noise. They should just live by what we tell them. And yes, to a point, but you have to allow your children to express themselves, their emotions. So let's say you go home to your significant other, the kids are running around like crazy, your significant other is all like cranky and yelling and blah, 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 blah. Do you immediately say, wow, what a jerk? Or do you actually look at this person and go, geez, what's going on with you? Or option number 3, oh my God, what did I do? That's the perception you see in yourself. You're the person to blame when something goes wrong. Think about that. Think about that. A reminder, if you have not done or said anything in that present moment to create the situation that has already started, it's not your fault. It is not your fault. So instead of looking at this person going, wow, what a jerk. Wow, why are you being such an ass? Wow, what are you yelling for? How about say, is there something you need? Can I help you with something? You seem to be in a bad place right at the moment. Try that. Right? And if they snap at you, say, you know what? I'm sorry you're feeling the way you do, but if you need me, I'll be over there. And don't take it personally. Again, don't take it in as your own. When people are in a bad place, they're in a bad place. We're human beings. It's going to happen. But it's your perception on your end that makes it good, better or worse. So you could go in and go, hey, what the hell? And start da 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 da. So they da 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 da. Right? And then before you know it, everybody's angry at everybody. So, your family, mother-in-law, father-in-law, in-laws, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, right? Your own mother, father, whatever, right? All these family members, brothers, sisters, so on and so forth. Maybe you do something with your significant other that is different than what you used to do when you lived at home. Well, what are you doing that for? Well, because now we're together and we decided to do things this way. And that's your perception of how you want to do it. Well, they don't agree. Well, they don't have to. They can pick and choose what they want to believe. That's their perception. But don't let it become a family argument. And if they start, you know what? I'm sorry you feel that way. That's how we choose to do it. So I'm doing it that way. Nip it in the bud right there. Okay? There's no need to fight over perceptions of anything. Nothing at all. All right. So talked about that. Jobs, same thing. Maybe your boss is running around like a lunatic one day, screaming and hollering at everybody who gets in their way. Again, perception. It's not, especially if your boss is normally not a tough boss. Like, yeah, business-wise, get your work done, but not like to the point of like, whoa, what's going on with them? See it differently. Ask yourself that question. Wow, what's going on today? He's really in a tough place, or she's in a tough place. Ask yourself. Don't automatically assume. Don't judge. Say, you know what? Must be something going on because I haven't done anything wrong. Again, don't take the guilt and go, oh my God, what did I do? Doesn't go that way. Perception. If you change your perceptions, you change the way things are going. Again, perception it's a great thing. It really is. And it gives us the opportunity to look at all sides of different situations and people, But again, perception goes along with when we're trying to reach goals, when we're trying to reach dreams, and so on and so forth. You have the person who's like been through the trenches and back and the mud and the dirt and the grime and they've crawled their way up and out because their perception was, I'm going to do this. I don't care what happens. I am doing this. That was their perception of their goal and how they felt about it. And they went after it. Then you have people who go, oh, I can't do this. I guess it's not meant for me. Whatever. And they move on to something else. That's their perception. But again, the positivity piece is a huge piece in perception and in manifesting and all these different things. You can choose to look at life like it's shit, or you can choose to look at life like, oh, it's just another day. Things happen, but I'm moving on. I've heard people who will sit there and tell me like, oh my God, my life sucks. I never have enough money. All I have is bills. Oh, look, more bills. Oh, look, my phone shut off. Oh my God, life sucks. Oh my God, do people ever get better? No, people drive me crazy. Oh my God, I don't have any money. Oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, oh my word. If that's all you're going to look at, that is all you're going to get. I know people who've been in a bad place and they'll be, you know what? May not be that great right now, but you know what? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay because I'll figure it out. There's a way to get out of this, I'm sure, and I will figure it out. And God bless them, they did. They did. Because they choose to look at it differently. They don't look at it as it's the worst thing in life. It's just a bad thing happening in that moment. But we can work towards getting out of it or away from it or whatever it may be. So, think about those things. It's very important when, you can change your perception and just see life so differently. You ever go outside and go, oh, everything's dark and everything's gray and it's, right? Because it's wintertime. But yet, you know what? I can go outside with my dog in the wintertime and it's freezing and I'm not a big fan of the cold weather, but I can go outside and I can hear a hawk squeaking or screeching or however you want to call it. And I'll be like, oh my God, that's beautiful. I don't focus on the darkness of outside or the barren trees, but for me, the first thing I noticed was that beautiful hawk talking to me. That's what I think. Sometimes in the morning I go out and there's a blue jay that just screams and screams and screams while I'm outside with the dog. That I focus on. My dog, he's beautiful. I focus on him. The crisp air. As much as I don't like cold so much, I do enjoy that real crisp air because it's just like when you breathe in, it's just like, wow, this is amazing. That's what I focus on. So think about that. Even when it rains, it's like, to me, it's nature's way of replenishing what the plants need. Because if you want your plants to grow in the springtime, they do need moisture over the wintertime. Now, whether that come through the form of rain or the form of snow, it needs to come. So instead of complaining like, oh God, it's raining again. You know what? I'm grateful that it is raining. I'm grateful because it's going to give us water. It's going to prepare our plants to grow. Now, mind you, yes, I get it. Sometimes there's certain places in this world where floods happen. I get that. But I'm talking about just normal everyday living. Are floods great? No, they're not. I know they're not, because they do bring a lot of damage with them and so on and so forth. But, like I said, a normal daily routine of life. Yes, it stinks sometimes. If you really want to go out and do something, like say have a cookout and it rained instead, well, yeah, that kind of stinks. But hey, it is what it is. You can always reschedule, right? We can't change the weather, but we can change our party time. So there's so many different ways of looking at perceptions, and the biggest part is how to change them. And it's basically, like I've been saying right along since I've started the video, you change it by changing your mind. You turn a negative into a positive. It's reminding yourself, catching yourself, being in that moment of mindset of negativity or thinking badly of things as they're going on. So, it's always like, from myself, I tell people all the time, my mantra is I trust and believe. Meaning, okay, I am super worried about money right now because I got all these bills coming in, whatever. And I catch the spiral and I go, nope, stop. I trust and believe I will have everything I need. I trust and believe the universe is supplying me with all my finances that I need. How that shows up, that's up to them, not me. Same thing for you. It's up to them, not you. Just follow the clues as they come along. So, you know what? Change my perception. Yes, I have bills, but you know what? So does everybody. Okay? Am I just allowing myself to negatively worry about something? Yes, I am. Why? Because I'm human. So, nope, we turn that off. I catch myself and I turn it off and I say, I trust and believe everything's going to be okay. And that statement has always gotten me through everything. It truly has. And it's gotten me through some really big things. From a divorce to living in a camper for 5 months because of another situation going on. We won't go there. But anyway, even with that, I'm like, it is what it is. I cannot change it in this moment. All I can do is go with the flow and keep moving forward and trust and believe that it's all going to work out fine. And it did. Better than I could imagine, actually. So, yay for me. Yay for you. So think about that. Change your perceptions. Change your perceptions. Change your life. Okay? Everyday life, belief systems. Yes, belief systems have what you want. Will they change? Probably. Because I'm sure if you think about what you truly believe in now is not things you believed in before when you were younger or when you were a child. Because you were told what to believe. So that's what you did. But then as you get older, you change those things. Will it change again? Of course it will. You can either stay stuck in your own generation with those thought processes or continue to move on and go with the flow of life, because life changes all the time. Now, I know a lot of people today will complain about the kids today, okay? They have no motivation. They have none of this. They have none of that. They don't do great. In school, these things happen. Those things happen. They never go outside and play, blah, 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 blah. Okay. One, when my kids were small, TV off, outside, go, bye. And that wasn't that long ago, okay? Because, they were only in their early 20s. So, but I made them go outside. I made them go ride their bikes or go to play with their friends in the yard, or, play hide and seek or whatever, go for a walk. So I made them go outside. I limited their video time. I limited their TV time. I had them do other things, draw or puzzles or something. One thing that's very different today than maybe 10 or 20 years ago was kids' minds are not the same today. There is a lot of anxiety going on with people. There's a lot of depression going on with people, a lot of mental illness going on with people. And luckily, mental illness is now considered just being sick, like having a cold. You know what I mean? So it's recognized as a thing now. So it can get you, people can get the help they need, which I'm grateful for. But I don't think you saw a lot of that years ago. Now, why is that? I don't know. So I don't blame kids for being lazy or having anxiety or having stress or having depression, because I feel that there's something out there that is creating this in kids. Or who knows, maybe even happens in utero because of what we're doing. So what I mean by all that is there's a lot of differences in our food today. There's a lot of processed foods. There's a lot of chemicals in your food. There's a lot of stuff that shouldn't be there. And, fast food is the way to go. You're in a hurry. Let's go. I mean, it's just crazy. It's like, oh, but it tastes so good. I'm like, yeah, but do you know what's in that? Ew. I mean, even food I've noticed from when I was a kid, like, of course, as a kid, I loved Oreos. Now, of course, when you ate an Oreo then, it tasted like chocolate cookie. And the cream tasted like sugar cream. Now, if you eat an Oreo, it's like, what is that? It just doesn't taste the same. Things are made with so many preservatives and so many chemicals now to make them last longer that we should be so well preserved, right? Unfortunately, that's not how our bodies work. This stuff is making us sick. And I think, to me, my personal opinion, my perception is, and you can agree or disagree, and that's fine, a lot of what we eat creates a lot of what goes on with us physically, mentally, emotionally, okay? I think medicines have lots of side effects. Vaccines have lots of side effects. Everything has side effects. And I think that's what messes with the kids today. So my perception of that is our human existence is changing. It really is changing because of everything that's going on. So yeah, people might be, from my generation going, oh, these damn kids today, they're just so lazy. I'm like, it's not that. What do they got to be stressed out about? If you have a mental imbalance, it's going to create anxiety. It's going to create stress. I know because I have someone in my family who's going through that. I have two, actually. Two of my own kids are going through that. And one day I just remember saying, I'm like, aren't you going to grab a coffee before we go out? No, I'm feeling too anxious. From what? You just woke up. I don't know. It just happens. It's like somebody flips a switch and all of a sudden there it is. So where does that come from? So change your perception about the kids today. Are some lazy? Yeah, maybe. I think every generation has kids that are lazy. But in all reality, if you hear a kid is going through stress or anxiety or depression, or they're having suicidal thoughts or any of those things, think about this first before you judge what's going on with them, right? Big perception on generational changes. Big perception. So think before you put it out there, see things differently, because to me, there's got to be a reason. From the time, my grandparents were around to my parents, to me, to my kids, I'm going, there's a huge difference in everything. So be mindful of that. What else can I talk about? I don't know. Perception is everywhere. It's in everything. It's your whole life process, your mind's process of what things are and who you are and who you're with and all those different things. All I can tell you is make sure that your perceptions are positive. If they're negative, catch yourself and flip it to a positive thing. Don't judge. Please do your best. I know it's a human thing too. We all judge instantly. But if you catch yourself judging, say, whoa, wait a minute, back up. Why is that person doing that? Especially, say, traffic. If you're driving down the highway, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somebody comes flying by, beeps, and flips you off, you haven't done anything. So that's when you have to realize, like, wait a minute, I didn't do anything. That person must be having a tough day. And they're just spewing their anger out everywhere. So there's a I don't know, like a story type quote that I give to all my Reiki students when they take Reiki 1 with me. And it's called The Law of the Garbage Truck. And I'm going to try to remember it completely, but you'll get the whole gist. So basically it is one day, this guy was saying that, one day I jumped in this taxi and I was on my way to the airport. And as my taxi driver was pulling out, this truck out of nowhere just pulled out in front of him, almost smashed the car. And then the guy was yelling at us, like really yelling at us. And he said, the taxi driver just, waved the guy on, like whatever. And he's like, aren't you mad? He's like, no. He's like, yeah, but that guy almost, wrecked your car and could have put us in the hospital. And he says, that's when I learned the rule of the garbage truck. His taxi driver proceeds to tell him that, a lot of people run around all day holding on to anger, holding on to sadness, holding on to so much garbage that eventually at some point they got to get rid of it. And unfortunately, sometimes it goes to you. So instead of getting angry and throwing more garbage at them, just wave, smile, and wish them well. Because that's what they do, is they have no place to dump their emotions, right? So they end up dumping it on everybody else, but in an angry way. So think about that. That's really what it's all about. So perception is everything. So the taxi driver being able to see that and just kind of like wave the guy on and it's like, it's okay, go. It's because he understood that it wasn't the man's intention to try to hit the car or to purposely yell at them. It's because he was having such a bad day that he just reacted that way. Because he had so much built up emotion, he had to dump it somewhere. So, think about that. Think about that. When we change our perception and we think more on kindness and love, even for ourselves, you see how things change. You definitely see how things change. I mean, I see it between me and a lot of people I know. I see how they react to things and I'm like, why? Why get all worked up over things? What for? It is what it is. We can't change it. So you got to let it go. You see it one way, people see it another way. It is what it is. But I guess that's the whole point of being human and living on this wonderful earth, as they say. We're all here to see things for ourselves. And whatever that is what's right for us. Always work from your heart. That's your truth. Not from your head. That's your ego. Ego always gets you in trouble. So with that being said, I hope this helps you a little bit with changing your perceptions on life, really looking at things in a specific way. And, one thing I will mention is, for example, you have a coworker who's always snapping at you and you you can change your perceptions. Okay, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're having a tough time at home, whatever it may be. It's not me because I haven't done anything, so they're snapping at me as a reflection of how they're feeling. Okay? But yet, this seems to come back at you all the time, every day, every other day, whatever it is. And you're not the only one. You see it happening with everybody else too. There is a point where you can turn around and say, okay, enough's enough. Set a boundary. Say, you know what, I'm sorry you're not in a great place and you have to yell at me and everyone else you talk to, but I really don't appreciate it. So I'm asking you now to please step away and do not come and talk to me unless it's useful for work purposes only. Right? So again, you can say that with love, just like I said it there, or however you want to say it to, more in your own words, of course. But yeah, you don't have to put up with the constant happens once or twice, it's like whatever, you know what I mean? But if it's a constant thing with somebody, it's like, oh no. Be mindful of that. You don't want to deal with people's BS, basically. Set your boundaries and whatnot. Yes, you can be sympathetic, you're empathetic, knowing that they're going through something, but you don't have to tolerate it all the time. So do your best. Again, we're all humans, right? Do our best. See your perceptions about yourself in a positive way. See the perceptions of other people going through stuff in a positive way to the best of your ability. I trust and believe everything is going to work out fine. Everything is fine. Everything is okay, right? And who knows? And even your perceptions on life issues. You're allowed to think what you want to think. You're allowed to have a discussion about what you think. But don't make it happen to the point that you're unfriending people or not talking to family over it or things like that. Learn to agree to disagree. Be the fence sitter. I sit up here. And if it's a discussion I don't want to have, and I can tell you right now, politics, no way, don't talk about politics. Unless I know I'm with somebody I can have a sensible conversation with, even if we disagree. I'm not into fighting. I don't like arguing. Don't see the point in it. But I've actually been with family, and right away they're like, "Oh, so what's your thought process on who's running?" I'm like, "I don't talk politics." "Oh, I know who you're voting for." So no, you don't. I don't talk politics. I'm here to visit you. Can we talk about what you've been doing for the past year? That's what we're here for. And they go, "Oh, okay." But again, you don't have to change. Redirect. You know what I mean? Because again, you know who you can talk to and with about what you could talk about. You know what I mean? So keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. But these are little tidbits that always seem to come up because, well, it's it's the human energy. It's a human life. It's people. Right? As they say, it's people. But perception is more about how you say things, not what everybody else sees. It's about you. So remember that. Keep your perceptions positive. Keep them open. Keep them clear. Keep them here. Right? And know that they can change. And if they change, that's okay. Because you're allowed. So I hope you enjoyed my little talk. And next month for February of 2025, we're going to be talking about a lot of heart-centered things. Changing heart hurts, breakups, self-love, all kinds of stuff. You name it, we'll be talking about it. But that's for next month. So I hope you enjoyed this month's talk, and I look forward to having you join me in February. So have a great day, everybody, a great night, whatever time it is for you. And we'll see you soon. Take care.